Everyone knows you are what you eat. But what is in the food we're eating? And where does it come from? When asked this question, most people answer the grocery store. The modern-day American supermarket contains an abundance and variety of food. You can find everything from fresh produce to deli meats, and processed food to frozen meals. Food labels like 100% natural try to attract consumers to the product, but most of the ingredients can't be pronounced by a majority of the population. Food packaging often depicts open green pastures or quiet countryside farms with lush gardens and ripe produce, or large, vibrant orchards, giving consumers a sense of security in the products they're buying. But where does it really come from? A great majority of the food and food products sold in supermarkets, including fresh produce, are manufactured, processed, or packaged in factories like this pasta plant. Food processing is a transformation of raw ingredients into food, or of food into other forms. Food processing uses harvested crops and butchered animal products to produce attractive and marketable products that have a long shelf life. The longer shelf life a product has, the more profit can be made. A look into America's past might explain how the middleman between consumers and farms became supermarkets and factories. During the Industrial Revolution, more of the population began gathering in cities. Technological advancements in transportation, milling, preservation, and packaging gave this new food industry an advantage in a booming market. As the expectations of consumers began to rise, convenience became more important than quality. The food industry changed their goals to match those of a growing capitalist society, reinventing the idea and purpose of food. During World War II, the U.S. Army needed better ways to preserve, store, and transport food. With generous amounts of government funding, they discovered dehydration, flash freezing, and lightweight packaging. Processed products were created for mobile troops, such as the K-ration. These separately boxed meal units for breakfast, lunch, and dinner were intended to be used in short duration by tank corps, airborne troops, and other mobile forces. Many new chemicals were also created and experimented with during World War II. The same ingredients and chemicals used to make bombs during the war were reintroduced as farming chemicals and artificial fertilizers. With extremely high concentrations of nitrogen, farmers were able to produce larger crops but required new petroleum-fueled machinery to harvest them. Soil began to dry out of the remaining nutrients and the crops became deficient. Maximum food at minimum cost seemed like a great idea, but long-term use was not scientifically tested and was unknown to producers and consumers.
Let me now turn to our program for the future.
The United States joined the Vietnam War to prevent a communist takeover. Military Operation Ranch Hand lasted from 1962 to 1971, dropping bombs filled with a mixture of herbicide and defoliant called Agent Orange. This extremely dioxic compound killed over 500,000 Vietnamese citizens and caused birth defects in another million. Monsanto and Dow are the two largest producers of pesticides used on American soil. In the 1970s, Secretary of Agriculture Earl Butt said, "Get big or get out," making big farming companies bigger and pushing out small organic farms. Commodity crops such as corn and soy could easily be turned into profitable processed foods and were encouraged and funded. Products like Roundup were used to fight parasites and fungi off of the weak plants grown in deficient soil. What happens to a population after decades of consuming food grown in a chemical soup of fertilizers, pesticides, and fungicides? Glyphosate, more commonly known as Roundup, has been scientifically linked to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and many other diseases plaguing America. This low-quality food is filled with toxins and is deficient in enzymes, vitamins, and nutrients. The human body requires a certain amount of specific nutrients. If it is not received, the body is starving on a nutritional basis and will continue to stay hungry until it acquires what it needs. Man-made products such as bread, sugar, and table salt trick the body into thinking it has these nutrients, but the body remains starving at a cellular level. What these products do have are a high amount of calories and extremely toxic man-made chemicals. Consumption of these food products after several generations has had terrible results. This bioaccumulation of toxins has had devastating and damaging bodily effects. The poor quality of food has created a deficiency of nutrients, and the fat accumulation from the excess calories has created an epidemic of obesity, leading to illnesses such as diabetes and heart disease. The health industry has led us to believe there is a pill for every ill. But is there another way to regain our health? The deficiency of one vitamin or mineral can have many adverse effects on the body. Dr. Max Gerson, founder of the Gerson Institute, believed the human body had an innate capability to heal itself. The Gerson therapy is an organic, non-toxic treatment alternative for cancer and other chronic degenerative diseases. This therapy has cured thousands of people with different cancers and diseases that were previously told they would never be cured. What is the Gerson therapy's secret ingredient that has given thousands of people their lives back? 100% naturally grown, raw, organic food. Dr. Gerson adopted the idea of the body's natural capability to heal itself from Hippocrates, also known as the father of modern medicine. Although Hippocrates lived between 460 and 370 BC, the Hippocratic Oath is still recited by medical doctors today. He also said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." Yet our doctors receive very little, if any, nutritional training. If society changed their perspectives of food and medicine to be one and the same, there would be a dramatic increase in the average health and vitality of American citizens.